Good morning, world changers. It is day 37 of the 100 Days of Self-Discovery Challenge. As you know, each and every day I pose a question to get you to reflect on so you can get to know yourself a little bit better, so you can start understanding what's holding you back from achieving the goals, dreams and desires that you have, and start creating and designing the life that you really want to live. So today's question follows on very much from yesterday. The question yesterday was, what is your ideal diet? And today is, what do you need to do to achieve your ideal diet? So it's quite interesting how these questions are now getting us to be accountable. It's not all just about theory and getting us to know, understand ourselves and understand our goals and dreams and desires. It's now getting us to think about, well, why aren't you doing it? Basically. And that's what today's question has done for me. It made me, after yesterday's post, it made me really start reflecting on what my resistance is to giving up sugar, other than I enjoy it, but my processed sugar content has definitely gone up. And I really reflected on that because I really hate being controlled by things, and this is controlling me. And I started thinking, well, looked at the question, reflected on it, and I realised this has happened since working from home. So before, when I used to go into the office, when I had my BBC job, I would be super organised. I would do my batch cooking at the weekend. I would prepare lunches every day, and I am a grazer. I graze all through the day. And I would take in, I'd have my nice, healthy, nutritious lunch. I would have little packets of nuts to, just graze on through the day. I would have my fruit, and, I just wouldn't take chocolate or cakes or, those kind of things with me. So I just ate the food that was in front of me. But because I am now working from home, I just find myself constantly pottering and, do a little bit of work, and then I'm like, I'll just make a cup of tea. I'll just have a little biscuit with my tea, or I'll have some chocolate with my tea, or whatever it is. And it's just become this habit. And I haven't, because I'm hungry and I'm a grazer, that is my natural eating style for me. Because I haven't prepared, I haven't been organised, I have, I've messed it up. I'm not in my structured way. So this is why I am absolutely nibbling on utter rubbish. The other key thing is not to buy it in the first place, because I just have no willpower to resist, which is really interesting. Because so I was thinking to myself, right, that's it. I am pressing the reset button. I'm getting rid of all the treats that I have in the house, but not getting rid of them as in chucking them away or giving them away. No, I was like, I'll eat through them first, and then I will start this, and I'll take this seriously. Which is hilarious, because when I decided to give up alcohol, I never had that mentality. Like, I have got a house full of alcohol. I never thought, right, I will horse through all the alcohol in my house, and then I'll start the challenge of giving up drinking. But that's because my relationship isn't the same. Alcohol didn't control me. It wasn't something that I saw as a treat or a pleasure or a way of winding down or an emotional comfort. It wasn't. That relationship was not there with alcohol. Alcohol was just something that, well, to be honest, I saw as a drug, and I was going to say enhanced, or it could make the night fun, essentially. And I saw it as a way of a mind-altering substance that would let me just, I don't know, forget, have a laugh, enhance the fun factor. I don't know, but that's how I saw it. Chocolate, sugar, that's a completely different relationship for me, and I need to really look at that relationship and work out why it's controlling me. I think, is it an addiction? Well, not, yeah, it is. I have to get honest, it is an addiction. I am addicted to sugar. My name is Susie Bowman and I am addicted to sugar. So I think probably a lot of us are. And yeah, I suppose I said it yesterday, I definitely don't want to give it up. However, I could significantly reduce it, and maybe that will reduce the cravings that I have for it, because I do think sugar creates a cycle of cravings. So, as soon as you have it, within half an hour, whatever, when the blood sugars are dropped, you start craving it again because your body's looking for that quick fix. However, if I ate well, ate healthy, ate all my nutritious foods that I used to eat and was structured in my day and how I used to eat, then the cravings wouldn't be there as much. So, plus, if I went to bed early and got a decent night's sleep, that would certainly help that. So things I need to put in place is that I need to get back into an organised way of structuring my day. And that probably goes for everything. But yeah, I need to actually need to make packed lunches again, because that's the only way I'm going to stop grazing on rubbish. I need to make sure that rubbish is not in my house because I don't have the willpower, and I need to make sure that I go to bed early and get a good night's sleep. And I have to have some coping mechanisms in place for when the cravings do come on. So I have to find a way to distract myself. So it's like I used to smoke about 20 years ago, and I remember reading this book. It said, the craving will actually only last for approximately 5 to 8 minutes. So if you can actually distract yourself for those 5 to 8 minutes and busy yourself with something else and just, do something, then the craving will go. You'll forget about it. And just keep training the brain. So every time the craving comes up, just go and do something. Do a task so that your mind gets taken over by the task, so that you're not just going, I want a cigarette, or I want sugar, whatever. So I need to put those coping mechanisms in place. And the other thing to achieve my ideal diet, I need to I got into a good habit of learning a new recipe once a month, and my ideal was to learn one a week, but I think that was just too much, because there's always freaking ingredients that you don't have. You go to the cupboard and you're like, great, I'll make this, and then you realise there's one vital ingredient you don't have. So I think it's a realistic goal to say I can learn a new recipe once a month. And if I do that, then that gives me more choices, that when it comes to me making food, I'm not just like, oh, what am I going to eat? I've got a range of really tasty foods that I want to eat and I want to make, and make me feel good and are improving my health, because that's what it's all about. So that's what I'm going to do. I would love to hear what you're going to do to try and to achieve your ideal diet, whatever that may be for you. So I look forward to your reflections. Feel free to share them here in the comments below. You can post a video like mine. You can join our Change Your World personal development group, which is free to join. It's on Facebook. It's in the links above. And yeah, you can follow us on all the social media channels. And if you're enjoying this 100 days of self-discovery, share the love, share this video, and spread the word with other people that may be looking for some inspiration about ways that they can make